Hello and thanks for tuning in. This video is about biodiversity. Before we dive into biodiversity, let's break down the word into two parts, starting with bio. In science, you may have heard some vocabulary words with bio in them, such as biome, a large community of living things. Biotic factor, which are living things in an ecosystem. Biosphere, the part of Earth that supports life. Biology, the study of life or living things. Biography, a story about a person's life. Biodegradable, able to be broken down by living things like bacteria. Biodiesel, a fuel that usually comes from plants, which is a living thing. And biohazard, a substance that is dangerous to living things. When you see all of these words that start with the prefix bio, what similarity do you notice in their definitions or what they mean? They all talk about life or living things. What we can determine from this is that bio means life. Keep this in mind as we move forward. Now, what does diversity or diverse mean? The word diverse means showing a great deal of variety or very different. The word diversity means a range of different things. We can say that our world is a very diverse place, or there is lots of diversity. People around the country and around the world are so different from one another. People around the world are all different ages, have different interests, wear different clothing, live in different countries, speak different languages, eat different foods, listen to different styles of music, have different religious beliefs, and look very different from one another. Our world has a lot of diversity in it, just when looking at other humans. So, what is biodiversity? Well, bio means life, and diversity means many differences or variety. If we put those together, biodiversity is the variety of species in an area. And to be more specific, it can be calculated as the number of different species in an area. Tropical areas, like rainforests, have the highest biodiversity of all land biomes. 90% of all land, plant, and animal species live in tropical areas. There are so many different types of trees, flowers, birds, insects, amphibians, and mammals. Many species of organisms that live in rainforests haven't even been discovered yet. The biome with the lowest biodiversity is the tundra. It is so cold there, and there is so little precipitation, meaning rain or snow, that very few species of plants and animals can live there. The biodiversity of an ecosystem can be a sign of its health. The more species there are, the more healthy the ecosystem. Let's take this food web for example. There are lots of connections between organisms, and all organisms have many food sources. If one organism were to disappear from the area, the rest of the food web would likely be just fine. But in an ecosystem with very few organisms and very few food sources for each consumer, one organism disappearing could mean disaster. So that is why we say that the more species there are in an ecosystem, the more healthy the ecosystem is. Biodiversity is a very important thing. So why should humans care about biodiversity? There are many reasons. Biodiversity is very important to us. For one, we need a wide variety of pollinators, such as insects and birds, so that our crops can grow. Without pollinators, we would have fewer types of fruits and vegetables available to us in grocery stores. We also want a variety of different types of plants because then we have a wider variety of foods we can eat. Biodiversity is also very important for medicine. Scientists study lots of different types of plants and animals in order to find cures and treatments for diseases. If we lose those plants and animals before we have a chance to study them, we could lose out on important drugs and vaccines. Biodiversity is also very important for keeping water in ecosystems clean and cleaning up chemicals and pollution. Not to mention that a greater variety of plants and animals makes our world so beautiful.